As leaders, we also have to consider gaining our own peer support. Leadership can be really isolating. Many times, what happens is an individual will kind of work their way through a hierarchy within an organization, and they'll be in a department or in an organization where they have lots of peers, and they develop really important peer support relationships and connections with colleagues. And then all of a sudden, they get promoted to the supervisor role. And now they're supervising or responsible for managing the same people who used to be their peers. And all of a sudden, they lose all the peer support that they used to have based on this new role relationship that they have to engage in with folks where there's an inherent power imbalance. So being in leadership can be really isolating, especially in smaller organizations where there might not be as many supervisors or leadership roles or managers, and we might have to look outside of our organization to cultivate peer support with other leaders. There's going to be things that as leaders we simply can't share with others in the organization because of confidentiality or privacy, or it's information that would be inappropriate to share about our own feelings of being a supervisor or manager or leader. And so it's important for us to engage in our own peer support outside of the organization as well. In my own experience, I found it really invaluable to do this for myself. So as someone who owns and directs an outpatient trauma therapy center, I connected with a colleague and developed a friendship with a colleague who runs almost identical, a very similar outpatient group therapy center nearby. And we have a meeting once a month on a somewhat regular basis where we come together simply for peer support. And usually we take half of the meeting and we split it up into two parts. And either I'll get the first half of the meeting to talk about and ask for support around whatever I need support on, and then she'll get the second half, or vice versa. And we kind of split it as evenly as we can, 30 minutes and 30 minutes. Sometimes this involves talking about the logistics of running a business, or legal or financial, or managing employees, or those kinds of kind of logistical things, and engaging in peer support in that way. But many times it comes back to the emotions that we experience as leaders, our fears, our frustrations, our anger, our vulnerabilities, our sadness and loss that we experience as leaders. And having a peer that can support us in that, who understands it, who has experienced similar things, who knows what it's like to own and direct a similar company that I own and direct, has really been validating and really supportive. So I really encourage you as a leader to cultivate peer support relationships within your social circle. And again, you might have to go outside of your organization to do that. So in thinking about peer support, I want to challenge us to pause for a moment and reflect on, in your own organization or professional circle, who is someone that you could connect with for peer support? Someone you could ask for support from, but also reciprocate and perhaps offer support to. Who's one person? And I want to challenge us to also reflect on how valuable peer support has been in the past for us. How meaningful our work relationships have been. How that there certainly have been times in the past, I imagine for any and all of us, where there were things that we felt more comfortable sharing with peers in the workplace versus sharing with a supervisor or a leader. And so peer support becomes that much more important in organizations for all these reasons. And again, we can't fully embody peer support without also considering the other 5 trauma-informed principles. So I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, to leave a comment below about what you found helpful, and check out some of the other videos on the channel to learn more about trauma-informed principles in group therapy, in organizations, and in psychodrama specifically.